But now that we've been through the doorway, we know there's more to Indonesia than Komodo dragons. Indonesia is half a world away from Seattle. We change planes in Taipei and fly on to Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia. From Jakarta, we fly to Yogyakarta, where the adventure begins. On the way to our hotel, the driver points out the American consulate. We check into the Phoenix Hotel. We're here a day early to recover from the trip and to do a little exploring on our own. The hotel dates from the 1930s and has lots of reminders of a colonial past. But many remodeling projects have produced a modern hotel. In the morning, we explore the Marlborough district. We quickly learn that crossing traffic is hazardous. Java is one of the most densely populated places on Earth. 60% of the Indonesians are here. That's 139 million. The island is more than 90% Muslim. These shiny finials mark the mini mosque. The locals call their city Jogja. Marlborough Street is filled with souvenir shops, mostly t-shirts and batik. These pedicabs are common and cheap. But motorcycles seem to be the first choice. Along Marlborough Street, we find all sorts of strange characters. In the morning, we meet the rest of the group for sightseeing. Our first stop is the Sultan's Palace. These guardian statues appear in front of many temples and palaces. These gongs are part of a gamelan ensemble. This is the home of the current Sultan, who also happens to be the elected governor. The palace grounds are filled with pavilions for cultural performances. Many of the buildings house collections of artifacts from the Sultan and his predecessors. Across the street from the palace, we visit the Royal Puppet Maker shop.
In Java, we have a different type of the wayang. From the West Java, Central and the East Java. The West Java is the 3-dimension, and the material is made from the wood. It's the people called wayang golek, with 3-dimension and with the dress. This is the more modern. And the Central Java, we use the leathers, the made from the water buffalo and the flat one. And how to play also different, because the wooden puppet is just the normal performance, but this one we use the screen, the shadow.
Both the shadow puppets and the wooden puppets are works of art in themselves. And now for something completely different. It's the Joji Bird Market. Need a day-glow chick? Wonder why there aren't more Java finches around? Well, they're all here, crowded into cages. Wait, there's more. Need a bat wing or a lizard tail for that next potion? That's here too. Escaping the bird market, we head for a batik factory. The pattern is first stenciled onto the cloth. The wax is applied either by hand or using a stamp to print the pattern onto the fabric. The fabric is then dyed and the wax removed. Then another application of wax for another color, and the process is repeated. After lunch, we head to Prambanan, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Prambanan is a Hindu temple built in the 9th century. The temple complex has 3 levels. The inner level has 8 temples and 8 smaller shrines. You can see 7 of the temples here and 1 of the smaller shrines. Surrounding the inner level are 4 concentric squares of temples, 224 in all. Only 2 of the 224 have been restored. The central temple is the largest and tallest, at 140 feet high and 100 feet wide. It is dedicated to Shiva. On either side are temples dedicated to Vishnu and Brahma. Opposite the Trimurti, meaning three forms temples, are three Vahana temples. Each of these temples are dedicated to the Vahana or vehicle that's associated with the Trimurti, the bull for Shiva, the swan for Brahma, and the eagle Garuda for Vishnu. Each major temple has a balustrade with intricate carvings. There are gargoyles that provide drainage. Each temple has a theme for its decoration. The temples were rediscovered in 1811. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions had left nothing but piles of stone, which had been scavenged for other building projects. Starting in 1930, restoration efforts led to the site we see today. Prambanan, an amazing place. About half a mile from Prambanan is Siwu, an 8th century Buddhist temple. The complex contains 249 temples, most in ruins. These gate guardians appear to have suffered less than the temples. The temple was severely damaged by an earthquake in 2006, and the main structure remains off limits. The other must-see is Borobudur. We're here for the sunrise. In the distance are two active volcanoes, Merapi and Sundoro. Borobudur is a 9th century Buddhist temple and the most visited tourist attraction in Indonesia. We're at the top to watch what turns out to be a lackluster sunrise. Here we find 72 perforated stupas, each with a Buddha inside. By rushing to the top for the sunrise, we've approached the temple all wrong, so we head back to ground level. This is how a pilgrim would approach Borobudur. The top level is not visible. Pilgrims climb to the top through 3 architectural divisions symbolic of Buddhist cosmology. The base is the world of desire, where most people live. The next 4 square platforms are the world of forms, where people seek enlightenment. The pilgrim walks around these balustrades and draws inspiration from the carvings depicting the life of Buddha. Along the way, Buddhas sit in open niches to assist the pilgrim's journey. The top 3 circular platforms are the world of formlessness, where the enlightened live, symbolized by the perforated stupas. The central stupa is empty, symbolizing the selflessness of enlightenment. Pretty heavy stuff for before breakfast. We solved that problem with breakfast at the Borobudur guest house, and then we enjoy the flowers. Two small temples, Pawan and Mendut, are positioned along a straight line with Borobudur. The reason's unknown, but we're going to visit them on our way to Mount Merapi. Mendut Temple was built in the early 9th century. It's the oldest of the 3 temples. Now we're taking the Mount Merapi volcano tour. 3,000 rupiah is about 30 cents. Mount Merapi, which means fire mountain in Javanese, is the most active volcano in Indonesia. It most recently erupted in 2010, destroying this village. But flowers by the road indicate nature's reclaiming the land. We leave Mount Merapi and head back to the hotel. We have some time before dinner. Our guide offers to take us to a crane roosting tree. The cranes are really cattle egrets. The family invites us into their courtyard for a better view. Sherry turns her attention to portraiture while I do the wildlife. After dinner, we're at a performance of the Ramayana. The Hindu epic is 2,500 years old. It's a morality play. These are the good guys. Rama, the ideal man, Sita, his wife and the ideal woman, and Lakshmana, Rama's brother. And this is the bad guy, Ravana, demon king of Lanka, who kidnapped Sita. This part of the epic is the most performed because it has all the elements that hold an audience's attention. There's pageantry, there's music and dancing, and fire is always a crowd pleaser. And battles, lots of battles. And most importantly, good triumphs over evil. It was quite a production, but I'm not quite ready yet to sit through several days it takes to stage the entire epic.